Hello friends, this year I've planted over 100 fruit trees and over 150 non-trees back here in the orchard. So I'm going to take you on a tour before I do any more pruning. We're going to take a look at what's in here and see how things are. Starting here with our Tindora, this is awesome. It's an ivy gourd. Let's see, some of these I've already pulled off, although they are amazing. They taste like little mini cucumbers. You can see all these red ones hanging down. These are a little bit more ripe. I have a couple of green ones over here. There's one right there, there's another one down there, and there's a spider web right here that I'm putting my hand into. So they're great. The chickens love them, we love them. Right behind on this side of the trellis is a passion fruit. It has not fruited yet. I do need to prune it back. I need to continue training it to grow up. I'm hoping to get fruit from it next year. It's a three-way trellis. So if we continue around this way, we see the third side, which has another passion fruit. It actually has two passion fruits. This one has the beautiful three-pronged, very classic leaf passion fruit. And then around back, you can see a different type of passion fruit growing. We really like passion fruit, so we have a bunch. I don't know how two of them will manage to grow up here, but I like to believe that there's enough room for everyone. And so we're just gonna give it a try. Also back in here, I had some basil, but I think it's mostly died off. I did propagate some of it. And this is Everglades tomato. I thought that Everglades tomato would be done by now. However, if we follow this line up, there are still some leaves and some more leaves, which I could probably actually just take those off. I'm sorry, the whole branch. I could take the whole branch off and propagate all of those. This one is pushing fruit. It's really late in the season, although it is. And you can see the passion fruit is trying to cling on to it. So we are going to take a walk. We're going to stay on the main outer part of the path. And I'm not going to name every plant that we see. However, if you have questions, let me know. And let's get started. Over here we have this beautiful, beautiful katuk. We actually have it on both sides. I know that this place needs to be pruned and cleaned up. That's why this is the before video. So bear with me, okay? Katuk, the little flowers, those beautiful little flowers are edible. The leaves are edible. And it produces a whitish berry. I've actually only seen one on the plant so far. Oh, cool. We get so many pollinators back here. It's wonderful. Well, the berry that we had was not quite ripe, but the berries are also edible. Katuk has sort of a nutty flavor, nutty earthy flavor. It's really good in soups. It's good in salads. My kids like to just run by and grab some to eat plain. So we're going to continue backing out of here, and we'll stick to the outer part of the path on either side. This way we have, let's back it up. Here's a sherbet berry. It's not exactly a tree. It's also not exactly a shrub. Further in, we'll see some where they've fallen, they're bent over more like this. But that's sherbet berry. We have our edible cactus. It's a Nepali cactus. It's great in Nepali salad. You can use it in stir fry. I really like it. It's also a non-prickly prickly pear. Over here for warmth, we have lemongrass and tall red grass. We have some sugarcane back there, specifically planted here because it'll have some protection from the wind from the house. We have our cecropia tree, which has grown huge, by the way. When I got it, it was just way down there. And this, I'm told, grows like weeds in Mexico. And I'm very excited to try it. It does prefer a warmer climate, which is why I've specifically planted so much around it for plants. Behind us, we have this fire bush. And behind it, we have a fire bush over there as well. They grow these little fingery things. They're supposed to taste like Sour Patch Kids. This one's, as you can see, it's covered in ants right now. Although I think that they actually grow them much larger. So this tree is not really ready to push out fruit. I just thought this was interesting, so I'm leaving it on as a test. Now, also for warmth, because I do plan to cut back the fire bush quite a bit, and both fire bushes, although those offer a lot of really wonderful overhead protection for the chickens, I have this lychee tree. I didn't think the lychee tree was going to make it, so I just kind of put it there, and it's doing great. So we're gonna leave it there for now. So here we have the katuk. Oh, and I don't see it right now, but I was out here just the other day, and there was a tomato plant. It had just kind of grown here on its own, I don't know if it was a seed from a tomato that I threw out or if the chickens had processed it, although there's somewhere back in this area a tomato plant. Alrighty, on the other side of the path, I have this gooseberry plant. Oh, look at that. Those are a bunch of bugs. That looks, scale's white, so I'm not sure that that's scale, but it looks like it would be related to scale. Can you see that? So when I'm out here pruning, the easiest way to take care of bugs is just to cut off the branch. I'm just gonna cut it off and throw it away. But look at that. I don't think I've ever necessarily seen that before. How interesting. And there's tons of ants on it. You know, it's true. You never ever know what you're going to see out here. But there's always new stuff to see. So what we're looking at, oh, more ants. We have a sopadilla tree. I've got a lot of trees. Alrighty, let's see. Here's a miracle bush. And then there's the inside path. Back it up that we're not going to be taking immediately, but you'll still see it so that we'll be able to kind of touch base about it. Back in there we have a, that's where a cassava had fallen. And we have a beautiful, all the way back there. Let's see if I can point it out. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it from here, but we have, that's the newest mango tree that we added. It's a cotton candy mango. Here's a mango tree that we planted from a seed. Here's a citrus tree, a guava tree over here. Let's back up. Hanging from the guava, we have Vicks plant, Cuban oregano, yarrow. This guava tree puts out these little yellow guava. They taste so good. I don't think I see any right now. Oh, I do see one, but it's not ripe. It is so small. Do you see? Oh, here we go. Here's one right in front of me. I was looking at one on a higher branch, but there we go. So little green guava. When they get ripe, they turn yellow. They're pink on the inside. They're really tasty. And guava traditionally are difficult to grow because they get worms all in them. It's a fly that lays its larvae. However, having the chickens here should be helping with preventing some of those worms. And the chickens love the guavas, so I give them a lot of the plants. We have some flowers over here and some blueberry bushes. They're not doing great as far as producing fruit. I think they want more acidic soil, so I'll have to work on that this winter. Here's some Panadol. We have lots of Panadol. Panadol is great because it smells really bad. So it keeps away a lot of the pests. The chickens don't bother it. And not only that, but it has medicinal qualities. So Panadol is great for a lot of things. Next to Panadol, we have some bitter melon. Hey, Henry. The bitter melon is more of a vine that I tend not to like. However, it's used as a treatment for flu-like symptoms, congestion in the Caribbean. Well, not congestion in the Caribbean, but in the Caribbean it's used to treat flu-like symptoms and congestion. You take the leaves and you put them in, you have to boil them for 5 to 10 minutes. The longer you boil them, the more you pull out of them. However, also the worse the tea tastes. So, but you definitely want to boil them first, and then you can make that boiled water into tea. You strain it. Behind it are these really interesting leaves. What I like about these leaves is they all have a middle part, which makes this tree really distinctive and easy to identify. This is the ice cream bean tree. They grow really big and they don't necessarily put out a ton of fruit right away. So this one's gonna be cut back as well. Over here, right under the trellis, we have another little gooseberry who's not particularly happy. I think it's not getting enough light there, enough sun. So what I'm going to do, you see it there? I have it in chicken protection. Right. So I'm going to come over and cut a lot of this cranberry hibiscus back. Cranberry hibiscus is wonderful. It tastes citrusy. If you've never had it, it's delicious if you like citrus. We really like it. I've got way too much of it. I have way too much citrus growing in here in general. So we're going to come back. We're going to cut back the cranberry hibiscus. I have this random citrus tree. You see the fruit growing? We're going to cut him back, cut the firebush back, cut the carambola back. I have to be really careful cutting back the carambola. I don't want to cut back too much. Actually, I do. I want to cut it back a lot because when they get really high, I can't reach them. However, look at this. It's already putting out fruit. This one fruited in the spring and it's fruiting again. And these are just the most delicious, delicious things. I love when I'm working out here and I'm feeling low, I'll come grab a carambola. Carambola is just a fancy name for starfruit. This tree I planted from seed. I have a couple of them back here actually that I've planted from seed. And they're doing awesome. Hi, baby gray. Over next to it, we have a fragrant tea tree olive. This one can be used for tea. Also, wow, look at all those fruits. Holy mackerel. This tree is loaded. Oh, that's so cool. What a fun find. The chickens love these and we love these. They're just absolutely delicious. Let's just talk about this for a minute. Do you know how to eat a starfruit? Traditionally, what people do is they'll cut the top off. See how it's shaped like a star? That's probably why you got the name starfruit. Well, what we do is you can eat the peel, but you don't want to eat this corner part. All right, I'm going to show you what I did, but I didn't have a knife. I used my teeth. I just took off the corner parts, and then from here you can eat it. It's so good. It should have that nice crunch to it. It's really crisp. It's not really tart. It doesn't have a huge flavor, although it tastes really different from the ones you get in the store. Just kind of sweet, has a light flavor to it. We love them. The chickens love them. My kids do eat those corner spines. I just tend not to. And since the chickens love it so much, I'm very happy to share. That's a lot of starfruit. How exciting. Alrighty, moving on to this tree. This one's going to be cut because we're almost coming to the end of its fruiting cycle. Do you see this one? Here's one. I've got some more really great fruits back in here, although it's going to be a little bit harder. Oh, spider web. I just stood up into a spider web. Hi, chickies. Do you see them sitting on the firebush tree? All right, it's a little harder in here to grab these fruits because some of them are really high. This one is just totally loaded up with bugs and bees. See that? Yeah. Ants are all over it. So this one, oh, the bees, I saw them yesterday. Yeah, they came after this one and they have eaten the entire thing, which is wonderful, you know? Plenty to share, plenty to go around. This one still has a bee on it, so we're not gonna mess with that one, but there's still a few up there that maybe we'll grab later. Here's another one. So these are called sugar apples. Let's come out of here. And I'll tell you, I found sugar apples when I was in India and I loved them. I had never seen them. I've searched all over grocery stores anytime we've been traveling and I just loved it. So when I finally did find it, I was like, oh, look at that. And then I found out I could grow it and I was so excited. So you wait until it's a little bit black around the top and then you pick it. And they just come right off. When you peel it, it looks, well, you can see my Instagram. I think I put one up about how to peel and eat a sugar apple. But each one of these is sort of like a little pod with fruit, and each one has an individual seed on the inside. All right, we're gonna pick up the pace, I think. Here's a citrus tree. We've got so many cool things growing back here. There's the other path. We're not gonna, like I said, we're gonna take the outside, so we're not gonna go down all the inside paths. But you'll get a pretty good idea of what's growing. Some Cuban oregano, some more yarrow. This whole line is citrus. When I started, I thought we should lump our trees that are like together like, so it'd be easier. Put all the cherry trees by cherry trees, all the citrus by citrus. Although actually that's not the best way to do it. And the reason is they all, when they're the same as each other, they want the same nutrients from the soil, and they return the same nutrients to the soil basically. So you're depleting your soil. But when you mix up the trees, they grab different types of nutrients and vitamins, and they can put back different nutrients and vitamins also. So it's actually better to mix them up. This citrus tree, I want to point out, you see this leaf right here? See that little path on it? So it's kind of common, but they have, this one has a worm on the leaf. always find it interesting. Let's see, right behind us we have our moringa tree. All these pods started off as being edible. They were soft and small and pliable, and now they're seed pods that can be planted. Here's our insulin plant. I think it's so cool. I propagated our orchid tree. That's what this big one is here. It just puts out these beautiful flowers. It's a shade tree, it's ornamental. It's just beautiful. We have so much hibiscus, so many different types of hibiscus. It's neat, it's great. We don't need it all, so I'm gonna end up just giving it away or throwing it away if no one wants it. Here's a pear tree. We have our rosemary. So over here, I'm specifically pointing this out because it's another time that I'm using plants to create warmth. A lot of the plants that you're gonna see in here are tropical plants, and they like warmer climates. They grow in warmer climates. And I don't offer warmth protection in the winter, even when we are getting freezes. So something I will do if I know a freeze is coming is I might water the ground really well before, because water can help create warmth and lock in that warmth. Otherwise, I don't do a lot. I don't, cover my whole orchard. I don't put out fire barrels. What I do though, is I teach my plants to care for each other. And the way I do that is I specifically plant plants that add warmth. So what you're looking at here, right in front of us, is a cinnamon tree. This cinnamon tree wants a warmer winter. It's going to have warmth given to it. The Peruvian apple cactus behind it, the Nepali cactus, the orchid tree, huge orchid tree, but that may not be enough. So we have some lemongrass here, a little rosemary. It was a lot larger. I just came back and cut it. And then this tall red grass, which you'll see later, although this red Napier grass, it can grow to be like over 10 feet tall. So it can grow really big. And so this is a big warmth provider. Another one who wants warmth is this vine. I don't usually love adding vines, but this vine I really specifically wanted. It's a akebia vine, or a chocolate vine. So when it fruits, it puts out these little fruits that are supposed to taste like chocolate. And I like chocolate, so I thought that would be a fun addition. All right, let's move out of this area. Through our little pots. Let's see. We've got a kumquat tree here. The kumquats are so good. But this is ginger, who's just popping up. This is a calamandrin. These are really tart. So over on the other side, we have another miracle bush. And so the miracle berries, when you eat them, you wait a few minutes, and then after that, anything else you eat will taste sweeter. And if you plant them near tart or any other fruiting plants, it'll change the flavor to make those sweeter also. My kids like it tart, which is why I didn't put a miracle bush right next to it. Over here we have Texas sagebush. And let's just take a quick peek in here, and then we'll go around. My kids potted seeds. They planted seeds for papaya, which is what most of these tall ones are. They up-potted them, so they took them from a small pot to a larger pot, and then they moved them into the greenhouse. And they're selling their papaya plants, their papaya trees, for $5 each. I think they're gonna have a sale. I'm not saying this as a sales pitch. I'm telling you just what we do with our extra plants. I did a test to see if these ice cream beans would take, but none of them have taken. Here's a tamarind tree that the kids planted. These are all jackfruit. I'll show you some larger jackfruit. Let's see, here's some rose apple back in here. Rose apple. That's not a rose apple. That's an apple banana. That one's actually mine to put out there. Here's a mango tree that they started just from seed. And then we have some lychees. Lychees are here. And we have a couple lychee back in here. Right over, whoops, sorry, we're too close. Right over here's the lychees. And then over here, what I have to plant next year, these are yarrow, and they make this delicious tuber. So I got some of these for next year. Also, see how tall they can grow? So these should hopefully be good overhead protection for the chickens as well. We have a pineapple to put in. We have some mint, basil, more papayas. These cool, it's a papula, I think is how you call it. It's a papula banana. It has a red trunk and it makes these little kind of like chunky bananas. And it's Hawaiian. They seem very, very cool. So that's my greenhouse. You can see I used plastic sheeting and I covered the holes with foam. This did not work great last year, so this year I'm going to be changing it. Oh, and I have these fans up here because plants that have wind do better. They grow stronger. All right, let's go this way. We'll just go around it briefly because I've got some really cool things growing over here. So here's our loquat tree. One of them. And look it. It looks like it might want to fruit again. You can see the flower. Fortunately, this one doesn't need to be cut back anymore because I did a big prune on it last year, so it's fine. If anything, what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to come in and top it, but not when it has all those flowering buds, so that's gonna have to wait till it's finished fruiting. Here's one of the citrus that fell. Oh, look at that. That's fixed plant right here. It's so soft. It feels like velvet. We have sugar apples that we're selling and ice cream beans. Not a sales pitch, just to say like this is what we do with our plants and our extra plants and for part of the kids' learning. This is a vine. It actually really wants a trellis. It's a pepper vine. I just got a new trellis. I was going to put flowers in it, but maybe I should put my peppers in it. There are these really cool long peppers. And over here's another sherbet berry. And this is really cool. This is Lipia alba. And it just kind of goes scraggly like this, but it's happy. And it helps you sleep. You take the leaves, you can use them fresh or dried in tea, and it actually helps you sleep. It's really cool. Here's our chicken noodle soup plant. It's another one of those medicinal plants. You use it for anytime you'd have chicken noodle soup, if you have a cough or a cold or the flu or anything like that. Back in here, we have ginger. And I believe this is, but it is. This is the coolest ginger. So this is shampoo ginger. And that banana leaf is not helping it, but this is shampoo ginger. So check this out. I know I said we'd stick to the outside path, but we're gonna pop around here because this one's on. Oh gosh, that's a big spider web I'm putting my head through. Okay, so this one's on the ground. So we're just gonna, let's see if we can. So what you do is you would squeeze it. See that juice coming out? You can use it to wash up with. It shouldn't have so much dirt on it because they do stand up. You can use it for your hair. I've heard of it even being used to help, I don't know if I'd say cure, but treat, put into, like keep it at bay for Crohn's disease. And they just grow standing up like this. So that's one that I could go squeeze. It's still pretty small, but look how beautiful that is. So this is some of the shampoo ginger. This tall, see it? See how tall and leggy it is? It's just tall, and I've actually cut it to here and here. And here I cut down. So this is another carambola tree, a starfruit tree that I planted from seed. And it's doing awesome. I'd like to cut it again and top it again, but I need to wait at least till next summer, if not a little longer. Because if you cut it too many times, like big cuts, it can hurt the tree and it can kill it. All right, I've backed up. I'm standing underneath one of our papaya trees. We don't particularly eat a lot of papaya. However, the chickens love it. So here's one of our papaya trees. You can see super healthy. Also loaded with fruit. We have some blackberries. These are thornless blackberries you see here. I just put in 3 Glencoe raspberries. Here's one, and here's one. And those Glencoe raspberries are supposed to be thornless raspberries. This is a gooseberry. It doesn't seem to be doing great. I need to come in and prune a little bit, but it has thorns, so I gotta be really careful. Let's see, here's the bananas, some bananas, and there are some growing, and there's some grapes, and here's a sherbet berry. I know I said we'd stick to the outside path. We're actually getting back there, I promise. Sherbet berry, see? Alrighty, here's a fig tree. Our outside path is right there. So we're just gonna take a couple steps this way, past our avocado tree. This beautiful avocado tree now has a friend, so hopefully it'll start fruiting. One of our papaya trees I just saw, I think it must have fallen from a wind, because it definitely can stand up, it just isn't. So when the papayas ripen, I think I'm just gonna cut it. Although this papaya is starting to ripen, so if I left this on my counter, it should ripen all the way. However, I'm just gonna put it over there for the chickens to come get. Let's see, papayas. What I have growing over here that's super cool is this guy. This is a blackberry jam fruit tree. How cool, huh? So what goes great with jam? Drum roll, please. Bum, ba, bum. Peanut butter. And here's a peanut butter fruit tree. Haha. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I told you that I just planted a dragon fruit, and there it is. See him down there? I attached him to the dragon fruit trellis, so he should hopefully climb up right out of there when he grows up. Alrighty. Here's some Cuban oregano. It's a really big Cuban oregano plant. Oh, look at that. There's a little baby lizard on it. Oh, there he goes. You see him? Hi, little friend. There's two of them. Alrighty. And then also in here with the Cuban oregano is another peanut butter plant. Peanut butter tree who needs to get in the ground. I'll do it next year. Here's June plum. The fruits are tasty. I haven't had one ripe yet, I don't think. I think they're supposed to turn yellow, although the ones I've had have always been green. They taste interesting. It's almost like a green apple with a little bit of citrus. They are this crisp and hard when they're not ripe. What I really like about this plant are the leaves, because these are delicious and they have a really nice citrus flavor. That's a great addition just to salads, or just if you're out munching and you're hungry. It's kind of fun. All right, so this is the outside path. Here's the back of the greenhouse. We still have some more Cuban oregano, sugar apple, and ice cream bean trees here. Here we have a lot. We're getting to one of the big parts that needs to be, a lot of this needs to be pulled back. But this is Mexican sunflower. Here is just one of the biggest turmerics we have growing in here. It's taller than me. Behind it, this guy, that's a jackfruit tree. I planted him from seed, and it was just growing straight up, but I didn't really want it straight up, so I came in and I topped it, and so now it's like bushing out into a few different tall branches, which is awesome. Taller than the jackfruit tree, which is already 10 feet, is that red Napier grass. And so that grass is going to provide a lot of warmth back here, which is great. It's a little difficult to see, perhaps, if you're not sure what you're looking at, but there's a lot of stuff back here that wants the warmth. There's also a lot of Mexican sunflowers that I need to come pull. They're great for warmth. They will take over if you let them, and I don't want them to. I have a few areas where I've planted annuals. This is one of them. I had a bunch of mullein in here, although you can see that I don't anymore. And it's mostly overgrown. I'm gonna have to come in and pull most of this out. The mullein, I think the animals came and got it. I think the critters came for it. Back on the path, here's another carambola tree. This one I got from a store, from a nursery. So it's a little bit, I don't know if it was I think it must have been grafted. But you can see the structure. It has one trunk instead of those multiple trunks that are woven, and then it branches out. And it's also fruiting. So this is kind of the difference between one planted from seed and one planted from, not seed, when grafted. All right, there's a big spider web, so we're gonna go under here, past the stone fruit. Here is a papaya tree that did not have enough sun where it was, so it grew into the sun. I think it's so cool. See how they're just, the leaves are reaching for the sun. It's still pushing fruit. It still has flowers and baby fruits coming. So it's a very happy tree. Hopefully the chickens will be by and they will see that I've left out some fruit for them. I'll take this so when I see them, I can just give it to them. Let's see here. I think we're gonna go under here and we'll meet the finger lime tree, one of them. I had this entire thing cut back in spring and you can see how bushy it's gotten. We have a few finger limes. It is so overgrown, I'm really not sure the best way, but we're gonna lift up this white branch. This white branch has thorns. It is a Mysore raspberry. I think it was named because if those thorns touch you, they will make you sore. They are very spiny, which is why I'm excited to have the Glen Cove raspberries. I'm fine to get rid of these. Back in here, we have our African Thai basil and a ladybug. This is a white sapote. It was also growing straight up, and I didn't like how straight up it was growing. So you can kind of see right here where I cut it. And now it's growing bushier. In the back we have a red anana, but you can't see, or excuse me, an articulata anana, although it's very difficult to see. This is truly a jungle. It's what I wanted, was a jungle, but it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. And that'll be my job, one of my many this winter. This is wild mint. Oh, look it, there's a cherry of the Rio Grande. However, it's not getting enough sunlight, I don't think, because this Mexican sunflower here is just taking over. So what I'm gonna do, because some of these plants are gonna want warmth, is I'm going to let these Mexican sunflowers grow this winter. And then in the spring, I'm going to come over and I'm going to chop a lot of them back. And when I say chop them back, I mean like, here, let's back it up. I'm gonna chop them way down. And I'm sure I'll do some before spring because like this branch is truly interfering with the growth. This is a Rollinia and it wants to grow. So I planted, this is actually what's bent over here. It's a butterfly bush. I forget what it's called. It's a raspberry butterfly bush. It's just a beautiful one. It puts out these beautiful flowers. You can't see it with all this Mexican sunflower. So I do need to come back and take down some of the Mexican sunflower before winter. This white stalk that's growing straight up is moringa. I didn't think it was gonna make it. It was smaller. When I planted it this spring, it was shorter. It did not even reach the top of that little mesh chicken protection there, but it is straight up. Okay, let's go back to the main path here. Back in here, I had, more red Napier grass. You see? Okay, so I had a whole wall of Mexican sunflower, and this entire area was Mexican sunflower. We've cut it way back. Clearly, I need to cut it back some more. Although, since I cut it back as much as I did, I've been able to put in a fig, some Panadol, some rosemary, some red Napier grass to go with these honey plants, some more ginger, a huge lemongrass. Wow, this one's taller than me. Let's see. We have a crepe myrtle who I cut him back as well. And he's still doing really well, so I'm going to let him grow. I just think he's really pretty. Back in here. Ouch, something's biting me. Sorry about that. Here's our patomba. Again, I need to come over and cut these Mexican sunflowers back. Here's some sea grapes. Over here. This is just a really beautiful pollinator bush. It puts out, well, it kind of looks dead at the moment, but it's really not. It puts out these really beautiful, here, just kind of orange flowers. They kind of look like fireworks. I think it's called lion's mane, but I may be mixing that up. And I just like it. So over here is a sugar apple. I planted him years ago from seed. And here's some more blackberries. We are going to stick to the outer path. And what you saw over before where I pointed out that cotton candy mango is going to be straight back through there. And also over here, we have a Barbados cherry tree. And I was out here earlier pulling out some of the cassava because it had fallen. Over here we've got a beautiful trellis who's more than ready for passion fruit perhaps, or something else. My passion fruit, I had an interesting one across from us, although it didn't make it. So I think I'll put something different there. Over here, I have sweet grenadilla. Where are we? Right there. And I think it's trying, so I'm gonna let it grow. And then I want to get this like a few other weird ones. On the other side of the trellis we have another finger lime. These are neat. They have such thorns though, so you kind of got to be careful around them. Just be mindful not to get stuck. And we have some more ginger and turmeric and the honeyberries, and over here's a mulberry tree. You know, it fruits, but not amazingly. And these trees get so big that I don't really want a huge tree here. I do try to keep all of my trees pretty reasonably sized. So I don't think I'm gonna be keeping him for so long, but we'll see. Here's a crepe myrtle. He was taking over the entire area. So I did cut him back. I'm gonna have to cut him back again. This is the chocolate pudding plant. It's called a black sapote. I think it's gonna be really great. It needs more light, so I do have to really do something about this crepe myrtle who's also pushing over this amazing mango. See the leaves? So it's reaching for light. It's kind of caught between, we have a fire bush who can leave, we have crepe myrtle, and then we have a whole wall of elderberry in the back. Here's another loquat, another fragrant tea tree olive, some more June plum, some more bananas, and this one's fruiting as well. Although I don't know if we'll actually get to eat those. This is a dwarf mulberry. It doesn't fruit that great. I'm gonna give it a hard prune and see what happens. Another mango. I planted this one from seed. You can see it goes up and out in here. I'm gonna have to cut him way back. Some more bananas. Another mango. My family, you know, we like mango. Here's another mango. So I have walls of warmth. As you know, I'm using plants for warmth protection, and mango is great for that. So that is one reason we have mango. Another reason is we love to eat mango. Here's a mulberry tree I put in from a cutting. Although I don't know that I want him there, so I might not keep him. Let's see, I'm just gonna toss this to the chickens because I don't see any chickens. Usually they come over by us, but I had them locked up today so that I could get out here without them and do a little bit of planting, and they might be a little angry. So here's another cherry of the Rio Grande, who, I think that's what he is, and he wants some light. What's happening is the red Napier grass is really growing so high. It's like 20 feet tall right here. Can you see this? So I'm gonna have to come in and cut him back. Here's another mango tree. All right, we're gonna go through the jungle. I wanna point out that brown thing that's hanging there. Although I'm telling you, we're coming into the weediest weeded part of the whole area. I think of a weed as something that I don't want. So I could have the most gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous rose garden, and one perfect mango tree would be a weed if I didn't want it there. Anyhow, these are loofah sponges. Oh, cool, I've got a green one. So let me give you an example. We'll just hold on to this for a minute as we go through. They grow green, and then they turn brown. And over here with it, we had some Everglades tomatoes, some basil, some dragon fruit. Over here, we have some specialty bananas, and some more ginger and everything, who's behind a fence, some grass, another mango tree, just because my chickens came over and they ate out the center of my bananas, and so I had to add some protection. I've just put in this hardy kiwi plant, so hopefully he'll survive winter and produce some really wonderful kiwis in the spring. The chickens do know how to get back here, but it's mostly a deterrent because they can fit through these, but well, actually that side I don't think they can. Oh yeah, here they go. That's how they get in, because those are nice and wide at the bottom. But it's more of a deterrent. And they're usually pretty respectful. All right, let's just go over here to an open area and park ourselves for just a minute, because this is really neat and I want to show you. So this is a loofah sponge. What you do is you would let it dry. We just had a huge rain, so it's a little bit moist anyway, but you'd let it dry and then you peel it. And so when you get a piece of soap, and it's usually a circle that they'll put these in, but it could be any shape, and they have some sponge inside, this is typically the sponge you're getting. If I open it all the way down to the bottom, you'll hear the seeds, you'll see the seeds fall out. Can you hear that? Those are all the loose seeds. And if you look really closely, you can kind of see some black stuff in here. Like here's one. Those are the seeds. So here's your loofah sponge. This area is where we had the chickens buried. So I haven't planted anything in there, and it's just grown up with weeds because now it's such fertile soil. So we're gonna keep going this way, and hopefully you'll see that on our update video, our after, before and after. Back in here, so let's go behind the weed into the jungle. We have this beautiful Cattleya guava, who is just nestled between some Mexican sunflower and some Mexican sunflower for warmth. This whole Mexican sunflower pile I have to come out and clean out. I know, this just grows so voraciously. In here we have so much planted. This huge tree, I'm really hoping it survives in the winter with all of the warmth protection I've put around it. It does do a little better south of us. It has Mexican sunflower, guava. This is a cousin to hibiscus. Some people call it hibiscus. It's Caesar weed. I don't like it. It grows into what is basically a tree, if you can see the trunk of it. So this is a weed right here. It's Caesar weed. Like I said, it's related to hibiscus. Some people call it hibiscus. I really don't like it. So this one's gonna have to go. But I don't know if I'll do it before or after winter, just because it is going to provide some warmth to our strawberry tree. We have the red Napier grass, more Mexican sunflower, spiral ginger, Panadol. I'm stepping on the Panadol. Texas sage bush. I mean, we have so much in here. We have jamun, we have Java plums, we have ice cream beans. I'm going to show you a couple cool things as we pass by. We have some silver dollar eucalyptus. We have red sugar apples. We have another, I think we have another June plum in here. Let's go to this side for a minute. This is a giant mulberry tree. It has not fruited, so I don't plan to keep it. It's taking up space that I could use otherwise. Back in here, wait, there we go. See this bushy looking one right here? So this is a strawberry Cattleya guava. I just put it in. Cattleya guavas are different than regular guavas, so I'm really excited to try it. This whole area here and all the downed sticks, this is sugar cane. Here's a money tree. It's also a pachira tree, and it's supposed to be good for flood zones. Oh, good, there's a chicken. Oh, I already gave up my papaya. Hey, Blondie. I was out here earlier weeding, so you're gonna see some big weeded areas, but here's a guava tree. It didn't really fruit this year, but I cut it back pretty hard, and what I've seen is that if I really do a really hard cut on a tree, then it tends not to fruit very well the next year, which is okay. That's okay. Here's another strawberry tree. It really, I think, I don't think it's getting quite enough sunlight, but also it has a lot of warmth for the winter with the sugar cane, the bananas, the overhead protection, just all of it. You can see we have some bananas growing. I saw something really cool I want to show you. Here's another set of bananas. I missed this one. It's a red forest pansy. It just looks like a really pretty tree when it grows up. So we have that one just because it's beautiful. We have an Anna apple. It's kind of silly to have apples in Florida. in my opinion. It's a green apple. It doesn't taste great. We only get 3 or 4 a year, and by the time we get to them, they usually have spots on them. We don't have the chill hours that apples need. So I'm considering getting rid of this tree. It is a great tree. I love the variety. It's just not doing great in my yard. We have all sorts of everything. This is cool because usually when I find the banana flower, it's way down. But here it's just growing. So it's just put out its second hand of bananas. 1, 2. They're still even under the flower. They're not ready to do anything. I love it. I think this is just such a cool part of the process. If you're unfamiliar with these banana plants, they're actually, like, I think they're classified as an herb. So this banana plant, who is this attached to? That one's attached to this stalk. Can you see that? Let's back it up a little. So that, it starts here, it goes over to here, and it's attached to this one here. So that one and this one's attached to this big guy here, and the one in the back where they're attached. What happens, those are called the grandmother plants, and you take off the bananas and then you cut down the grandmother. And I know that sounds terrible, but these will only fruit once. And after that, as they grow up, they will have pups or baby banana plants that they put out near them. And then they put out, and those are called the mothers. So here's a good example. Or this would be a mother because it's not fruiting yet, sorry. And then next to it is a baby, a grandbaby, or the daughter. So we have grandmother, mother, daughter. That might be a sucker. Some bananas will never fruit. They're called suckers, and they just suck up the water. And usually their leaves are shaped more like swords. But I usually let them grow bigger just to be sure. Alrighty, I've got some cool plants back here. This is a jaboticaba tree. I've got 4 or 5 others. This one was fruiting when we got it, so I'd had it in its pot, but the chickens came up and ate the fruit. So I haven't gotten to try it. It's a cool plant. It's a Brazilian grape tree. And the way that these grapes grow is not in bunches like ours grow, but they will grow directly on the trunk of the tree all the way up. These are really slow growing trees. I need to let it wait to grow before I'm going to be able to access any of the fruit because the chickens eat it all. Here's another jabo with a little Biden's alba on it. Here's a huge area of Mexican sunflower I need to come in and cut back. Although I put in some specialty bananas this year. You can kind of see them. There's also a bunch of ginger back in here. This is where I was weeding today. There's a huge Panadol plant right there. Can you see that? And back in here I have another jabo way over there. I have a dwarf ever-bearing mulberry. And I don't know, I think it's I forget what that is. Maybe a pear tree from years ago. Anyway, I've got a bunch of stuff over here. These are jasmine. They smell amazing. I'm gonna need to come back in here because do you see those orange things growing? My friends, these are not pumpkins. You see those down there? That's probably the best view. These are the most delicious persimmons. There's some ginger. I have or had, yep, there it is. Another one of those chicken noodle soup plants. I have or had a strawberry tree. Here's an ice cream bean tree. You can tell from those very distinctive leaves. See that? So I'm gonna just have to get back in here and just pull out all the weeds again, but I'm gonna wait for winter to do this. Over here we have some elephant ear. I planted so many, and I have a beautiful pink one actually right underneath the mulch here. Although I'm kind of glad they're back here because they're toxic. I put them in for overhead protection for the chickens. I really like the two tones, the variegated ones, but they're toxic. There's really no use. So in the future, instead of planting elephant ear, I would plant melangia. It looks really similar. I can get it at the grocery for a lot less money. It grows similarly. It'll be great overhead protection. The fence is up to keep the chickens out, but we have so much mulch, I pushed it over. All right, we're gonna take the outside path, which means we have to go up and over my mulch pile. I don't know if you've seen the path much, but the chickens have really done a number on it where they will come. Here's a perfect example. It was all flat. They've dug up some of my stones, my pavers, which I'm so grateful for. We were gifted these pavers, and they are amazing. They make a huge difference. They keep the path level, they keep it easy to walk on, they help prevent erosion. They're amazing. So the chickens will dig them up, and also they'll dig right next to it. Can you see how uneven this is, where it's like flat and then it goes down? And they dig all over. So here's a hole, right? And so I call them little ankle breaker holes, because if you step in it wrong, you'll twist your ankle. So anyway, we're gonna go through. The first thing I'm gonna do is remulch the path. Over here is an area with a pear tree, right there, and a ton of other stuff actually. Pigeon pea, turmeric, just so much is in here. And this tree here has a fungus, so I don't want to put too much underneath it. At least not edible, because as that fungus falls, it can get into the food source that I'm planting. I think at some point it'll come up. Although right now it has so many roots under here, I have to be really careful with digging, because I feel like every place I've dug, I've hit a root, which makes it difficult. I will point out I have another dragon fruit over here. It looks like it might have broken off, but I have faith. We'll see what happens. It's too high for me to do anything with now anyways. So anyways, a lot of this hibiscus is gonna go at some point. Staying on the path, we've gotten these long beans, which have sort of just planted themselves. They're really pretty. It's a vine, which is annoying, but they put out these pretty low flowers. Yep. And here's an example. We've got some of these guys, and then they put out these beans. I don't have a use for them. I would rather they not be here, but that's all right. Hey, Roo. We have roughly 45 hens and 3 roos at the moment. This whole cassava thing, this whole thing was cassava, but the storms have really taken it down, which is good actually. We have more of that chicken noodle soup plant. The red custard apple, the red sugar apple, I mean, is right behind it. We've got a Java plum. These are supposed to be kiwis. They did not do great this year. I think they didn't have enough sunlight actually from the cassava. So I'm gonna leave the cassava here a little bit for warmth, and then next year I'll take them down. I have another red sugar apple right here. Okay. And this is one of my favorite plants actually in here. This is a root beer plant. Mine tastes more like sarsaparilla, so it has a nice licorice flavor along with the root beer. It's just so delicious. I love it. I love running by and grabbing a bite. We have bay leaves over here. Just so much. It's truly a jungle, which is what I wanted. I just need to get rid of some of the weeds. And the thing is, let's step in here for just a minute so you can see. When there's so much shade as the trees grow up, you can see there are a ton less weeds. But in the areas that receive so much sun, it gets all weeded. So the weeds are really, oh, look, here's another rainbow eucalyptus. I mean, silver dollar eucalyptus I'd forgotten about. The weeds are really just a function of the environment. And when the trees grow up, we won't have that issue so much. It looks like somebody may have sat on this, like a chicken or another animal. It's more Panadol. I'm surprised, because usually it's so stinky it keeps them away. Stone fruit tree. This is a great plant here. It's called Kalanchoe. You can see it's multiplying. Aren't those little babies adorable? I love them. The way that you would do this if you wanted to plant more is you would just take off a leaf and bury it. The young leaves, the small ones, they don't have a ton of flavor. The big ones are really quite strong, and they're great for kidney stones. I was out here the other day, just kind of looking around, and there was one more pineapple, so I took it before the critters could. But they fruit once also, and they make pups too, just like the bananas. Here's an olive tree. Star apple. We have star apples, star fruits, tons of bananas, sopadias. I mean, it's really hard to find something we don't have at this point. This tree is a camphor tree, and it will grow huge, and I'm not keeping it, so he's gonna go. Here's one of our last passion fruits that we'll be looking at. I'm really hoping for fruit. It probably won't come this year, at least not many, if we get any. Over here we have another passion fruit. I'm really confident that they can share the trellis. Over here, it looks like he's been pushed over. He's been like this for quite a while. Is a pindo palm right here. And you can see there's a palm tree at the bottom there. Okie dokie. We're still sticking to the outside path. Over here we have Concord grapes. See? These leaves produce the most delicious grapes. They really do taste like that grape jelly that you get from the store. Concord grapes are an awesome variety. We have some stone fruit. This is one of my favorite trees. You may have heard me talk about it before, even if you've been here a while. I planted a loquat seed that I'd gotten from the grocery, and I got 2 trees out of 1 tree. So I have the rootstock that produce these little hard, round, sort of fuzzy fruits. And then I also have the loquat, the hybrid, that produce delicious citrusy loquats. It's one of my favorite trees. Back here we have some more dragon fruit. Over here we have a stone fruit. This area I planted as annuals, and then I went out of town for a week, and when I came back it was completely covered. So just taking a look to see what we have here. We have some weeds, although check out that beautiful flower. And we have Biden's alba, which I think the chickens really would like to eat, so I might scatter some of those seeds, those flowers around. We have bitter melon, and we have morning glory. And morning glory puts out, I don't see any open ones, but they put out these cute little flowers. They are pretty. I don't love vines because they can strangle your plants. Here we have papalo, which is an herb used in South American dishes. And over here we have what was a potato lasagna, where I layered compost, seed potatoes, straw, compost, seed potatoes, straw, up and up and up and up and up. And then the potatoes grew, and then the chickens found it, and then they started systematically chipping away at it. So now I have nothing. But it was a potato tower, which was very cool for a while. Let's just follow Welly for a minute. Back in here, we are at the part where we started. I do want to stray from the path for just one moment. Hi, Mr. Roo. Because we have something cool back here. That's a citrus tree I think I'm going to actually take out and move. We have a couple fig trees back here. We have another jaboticaba tree, which I want to point out the bark on this tree. It peels like a birch tree. I think that is so neat. This jabo tree, I got him 5 years ago. Let me back up so you can see how tall he is. It's just a little smaller than me. Like I said, they're incredibly slow growing. So I really need to take the weeds off of him. But when I got him, he was about my ankle height. So 5 years later, and it's still not taller than me. Whereas I put in a moringa that was roughly the same height a few months ago, and now it's well over 10 feet. So there's that. But this jabo tree has fruited a couple times this year. It's always down here where the chickens can reach, and so we still haven't tried any. We have Grimo jabo, we have white jabo, we have Sabara, I think we have a red, kind of some standard and some unique, some less standard types. Back in here we have our dwarf coconut, more bananas. We have a lychee and longan tree over there, it's just one tree. Some ferns, and tons and tons and tons of hibiscus. So let's see, I have a lot of work to do. This poor tree says, "Give me light." Do you see how tiny it is still? I just want light, and this fire bush says, I'm gonna grow. And this katuk says, I'm gonna grow. So when I come back to cut and I do the prune and you see the after video, hopefully a lot of this area will be recognizable, and hopefully you'll be able to see a little more, and it should look really different. So thanks for joining me on the before video.